felt like making this quick video because these days you hear people talking about the grind. You have to be grinding, which is a very good thing. If you're a young man or a young woman, you are trying to create something, you're trying to build something, perhaps it's a business, or you are trying to achieve something. Of course, you are going to experience the grind at some point. But the kind of grind I'm going to be talking about is the grind that you have to love when you want to go into business. Guys, this grind, you keep hearing it every time, and sometimes people do not really tell you exactly what they mean. And I'm gonna just try to give you a little bit of an impression of what you should expect, because it's possible that you already started your business and now you are kind of shocked because before you started this business, this hustle, you kind of heard that it was going to be an easy road and just going to be like something you're going to just play around with, have fun while doing it and make a lot of money. See, guys, that cannot be further from the truth. And sometimes when I make a lot of videos, it also gets to a point where I kind of sit back and say, you know what, I'm just going to sit here, talk to you guys, without any editing, no fancy talk, just like me and you, me talking to you as a friend, talking about a friend. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button, smash the like button, all right? Support your boy. Like I was saying, just me sitting here talking to you guys as friends, encouraging ourselves, because yes, sometimes it could be a lonely part trying to build something or trying to get something off the ground. It could be a lonely part. You could be out there alone. I'm in the warehouse still. It's almost 7:30. It's pretty much dark, but I'm still here, and I did pack these beautiful laptops. They sold for a really good amount on eBay. And while packing it, I felt like I was thinking about, let me talk to somebody about this grind. Because if you are already in it, you might have really noticed that it's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be a lot of sacrifice, not just one day, day in, day out. It's going to be a lot of sacrifice for weeks, for years, depending on what you are trying to build. But before you even think of giving up or quitting, I'm going to tell you that this sacrifice is going to be well worth it. You're going to come to a time where you're going to be so grateful that you ever took the initiative to even start and to put in the work that you have to put in. All right, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be light. That doesn't mean that it's going to be in any way easy. If you want to go this route of selling used computers, beautiful thing that you can ever think of doing. There are a lot of demands for used computers, used IT hardware, monitors, laptop, desktop PCs, whatever it is. The demand is there. See, something that you can actually do, get used PCs, buy them for cheap, turn around and sell them for profit. But that is a grind also. That's a grind. And it takes you to be very, very disciplined. It takes you to love what you are doing to be able to succeed. And that's where the grind comes in, because so many times it's going to be a lot of shit show. It's going to be a lot of confusing moments where you begin to question yourself. Hey, I thought they said this thing was going to be easy. See, yes, it's still easier than doing some kind of shitty jobs. I'm not against you having a job. As a matter of fact, I tend to tell you on this channel that if you want to build something, have a job and build it in on the side until that thing is big enough to replace your job, But then it is going to require a lot of discipline, a lot of sacrifice, a lot of missed events. People will be having birthday celebrations. You won't be able to be there because you are focused on building your business. Your friends will be having marriage celebrations. You'll be there because you are focused on building that thing that you so believe in. You see, it could be that you have just noticed that you kind of sing very well and you want to train yourself to be an artist. You want to learn to play a particular instrument. Just name it. Whatever it is, it's going to require a lot of time. It's going to require a lot of seclusion. It's going to require you to sit down and just work and keep working on that which you are trying to build. If it's a business, it's going to require you to learn a lot of stuff. Sometimes patience is going to be required. It's not something that you can read on books. I kind of slowed down on this, me trying to be a guru to people that want to learn to sell computers, because at the end of the day, I understand that it is what it is. Of course, there's a place for people, somebody mentoring you, but you have to come, to this, area with a particular kind of skill set, particular kind of mindset, a particular kind of discipline that when people are saying no, it's not going to work, you are going to say yes, this thing is going to work, and I'm going to make it work. People are saying just give up, forget about this pipe dream, and go do something else. You're going to say to yourself, I believe it is going to work, and because of that, I do not care how long it's going to take me to figure it out. I am okay with it. This kind of mindset you have to have. If you don't know how this kind of mindset, pay the best guru all you like. You're going to realize that at the end of the day, you'll be able to do anything. Today I received an email from somebody that bought a laptop for me just a few days ago and said, she couldn't connect to the internet. And if you understand laptops and internet, it could be a very tricky thing to troubleshoot. But the problem was that the laptop wasn't even seeing the VLAN that was in the apartment, and that was an issue. Tried every way to explain to this buyer. It wasn't really working. But then I said, just come online, let's do a WhatsApp call. I'll be able to walk you through. It might take me like 10-15 minutes, up to 20 minutes to do that. This is something that you also have to factor in. Even though I was extremely busy today, I had to pick my child from school, I had to also drop off something, buy some few stuff from the supermarket. I was extremely busy, but because the buyer had said, if we do not sort out this thing today, I am going to return this laptop. And this is a laptop that is well over 500 euros. I didn't want a situation where the laptop was going to be returned to me and then I had to refund money for something I could actually sit down, and so at the end of the day, we went online on WhatsApp. It took about 40 minutes to finally get this laptop to see wireless LAN connection. And the buyer, of course, very grateful. I'm suspecting that I'm going to get a positive review from that transaction. This is something that you have to also factor into the whole thing. And sometimes the grind is not just about you locking yourself up in a room. If you are having a customer facing kind of business, you have to factor in the fact that people are going to reach out to you in the night. People are going to ask for your help in sorting out certain things. Like some people, you'll be surprised, they do not know how to plug a desktop PC. So people are going to reach out to you and try to get you to troubleshoot certain things that you might feel, hey, this is actually very easy to do. Why don't you know this? But you are not allowed to write the customer that. You are supposed to be that polite, customer friendly, person that whenever you are called upon to help out with doing certain things, you do not have a problem with it. And you have to you have to love the grind, because if you do not love it, if you are in this grind, just for the money grabs, you're going to be disappointed sooner or later. I mean, it's the same thing if you're on this YouTube street just for the money grab. After some times when you get monetized, you do not really love that process of creating YouTube videos. You're going to hate the whole process. You're going to pretty much realize that whatever you are paid is not commensurate to the efforts that you put in. Boom, you're going to throw it away. It's going to be another case of an abandoned YouTube channel. This is exactly what you have to be aware of. It takes a lot of work, a lot of sacrifice to make this thing happen. But if you are able to put in the work, do the sacrifice, that discipline that you need, if you are actually able to, you say, you know what, I don't care how long it takes me to figure this thing out or what kind of sacrifice I need to, put in. I don't care how many friends I need to tell to go away from my life. But the thing is, if you are actually, serious about hitting your goals, making it happen, you are definitely going to realize that yes, it is going to be well worth it when you finally get, that goal. I feel like sharing this, just making you guys aware of certain things, because sometimes when you see us doing these things, some people might be tempted to believe that it's just an easy thing, something that you can easily pull off. Of course, anyone can pull it off, but you have to have a special kind of, skill set, a special kind of character, special kind of discipline to make all these things happen. But at the end of the day, the grind is well worth it. It takes a lot of patience, a lot of, futuristic thinking, because it's not something that you can actually pull off in a day or two or even a month. Sometimes it takes months, even years to do this. But like I said, if you are able to, be patient and see this whole grind to the end, you are definitely going to be glad you did. Until I see you again in the next one, peace out.